there will be a balance. I think he's good at it. It's another way to attack the defense and get the numbers in your favor offensively. How much we'll do is going to be a game plan basis, and it's something that will be talked about every week for sure.
What's he talking about there? Running RG3?
Yeah.
Zone read.
The zone read.
Yeah.
Zone read was a big topic of discussion yesterday out of Redskins training camp. We will talk to our Redskins beat reporter, Brian McNally, coming up at 8:25. You want to chime in, you can call us on the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Listener line at 800-636-1067. It is open line Thursday. RG3 said zone read plays will always remain at least a small part of the offense, but he's not defined by it. And then when people were asking about particular plays, Griffin said they weren't zone reads. People get confused about it. He just seems very defensive about it.
Yeah.
I don't care what the hell they call the plays. I, as a fan, do want to see RG3 run because, to me, that's who he is. I don't need to see designed runs, but I think one of his greatest attributes is his speed.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to just be running. It could just be rolling out. It could be just being elusive.
But if he rolls out on a bootleg, I do want to see him take off at times because he can just flat out outrun guys.
There's room to run, of course.
Yeah.
You'd want any quarterback
Learn
to do
the
that.
slide. I mean, I think you get it from Colin Kaepernick in San Francisco.
Yeah.
That's a big part of the offense at times. It gives you big yardage plays. You get chunks of yards sometimes when Kaepernick takes off in San Francisco, and I don't want to see that go away from the Redskins, offense. If he feels a little pressure, I think it's fine for him to scoot out of there for 15, 20 yards.
He will.
Yeah.
Any quarterback will do that.
We didn't see as much of it last
Jake
year.
Locker would do it.
Yeah, but I think what JP's point is there are some around this town that want to protect him so much and put him in this bubble that they don't want him to run at all and expose himself. And that's just not who he is.
Once he gets out there and he's in live action, if he's rolling out and there's no one to throw to and he's got 20 yards in front of him, he's going to take it.
That's why he was drafted number 2.
Yeah,
he wasn't drafted number 2, as EB said, to be a Drew Brees 5,500 yards passing guy.
Mm-mm.
That's not his deal.
No, because he's that new breed of quarterback.
And Jason has talked about this. Again, you want to chime in, you can give us a call on Open Line Thursday, 800-636-1067. Jason has talked about how Jay Gruden's teams generally pass the ball more than what Mike Shanahan was doing, particularly when you look at Andy Dalton's numbers. So he expects RG3 to have more attempts. That may be the case. I just don't think that's the strongest suit right now for RG3.
Well, they didn't bring Deshaun Jackson in to run RG.
That's true.
Agreed.
And they've got a good tight end, and they've got a good another receiver in Pierre. They're deeper at receiver.
Dude, this offense, I don't know how the offensive line's going to perform. You got Lichtensteiger. It looks like he's playing.
They got weapons.
They have weapons.
But again, it comes down to your boy.
I think that's what Ike Reese was talking about.
Yes.
When people talk about the talent, they at the skill positions, they have weapons.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to hear Jay elaborate a little more?
Yes.
On zone read?
Sure.
It's just my belief that, and everybody's different. Every coordinator's different. They might view it as you're right, maybe defenses are starting to sniff it out a little bit better. I view it as if you run it just a few times throughout the course of a game, maybe 3 or 4 times in 2 games. I don't know. It's just something for the defenses have to worry about in practice, and they have to practice their fits. It gives them problems, and it's something they have to work on diligently in practice. But, it's like everything else. If you run something too much, defenses will figure it out. I think it's a chance for us to be more diverse in what we do. You throw the quick game, you throw the drop back play action, the outside zone, you sprinkle in some read option. It becomes tough.
All right, let's go to the phones. 800-636-1067.
Well said, Jay. Well said. Hey, look, he's an offensive guy. He can coach offense. He can coach quarterbacks. That's what you want.
All right, let's go to Stan. Stan, what's up? You're on with the Junkies. How are you, my friend?
Jones, how's it going this morning?
What's up, Stan?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good. I just wanted to point out, I don't know, when has being a mobile or fast quarterback in the NFL become such a dirty word? RG3 needs to focus on being RG3, and that's doing what he does best. I remember 2 seasons ago, he got a little upset that he got compared to Cam Newton, and he was like, oh, no, my game is more along the lines of Aaron Rodgers. But you know what, Robert? No, it isn't. Aaron Rodgers has a championship, and he's renowned throughout the entire league. You haven't done anything yet. You won the NFC East once, but at the end of the day, the zone read for this Redskins team protected him at times. It covered a lot of his deficiencies as a passer, and it really helped the Redskins win 10 games a season ago.
Agreed.
And the last point I wanted to make was that if you remember, before we went on that unbelievable 7-game stretch, we were using the zone read, but it wasn't our bread and butter. Cal and Mike Shanahan figured out halfway through that season that, look, these defensive linemen and these linebackers can't run with him. Let's move him around in the pocket. Let's get him scrambling, and let's make some things happen. And you know what? He excelled when they put him in a position to do so. So everybody wants to just dump on Mike and Kyle Shanahan, but they really cater the offenses to his strengths. And when he did what he wanted to do, he got exposed the entire last season. Kirk Cousins is a pocket passer. If you put Kirk Cousins in an offense with Deshaun Jackson, RG3's, Pierre Garçon, and Albert Morris coming out of the backfield, hey, I think Kirk Cousins might end up looking like Drew Brees.
Well,
Have a good day,
Andre
gentlemen.
Reed is probably a
All
little
right,
bit
thank you,
slow
buddy.
these days.
Good
Andre
call.
Roberts is going to be a good number 3 receiver. I think the best point he made is, because I agree with him, they make it seem like the read option is a dirty word. Like, Robert does want to run away from it.
Well, because
He's right.
Robert bristled at
And I
it.
don't think it's necessarily bad that during his rookie season he wanted to be compared to Aaron Rodgers. That's a lofty goal. That's great. If he wants to be Aaron Rodgers, shoot for it. Try and become Aaron Rodgers. But I don't think it's bad to be Cam Newton. Do you know how many touchdowns he's had rushing in his first 3 seasons?
A lot.
Saw it yesterday. I believe it's 24.
Yeah.
24
And
rushing
they went to the
touchdowns
playoffs. They went to playoffs last year.
in 3 seasons. So he's averaging 8 a pop. To me, I know I threw out a number, and you can give us your take on what you would like to see from Robert this year. It actually doesn't matter the throwing touchdowns if you're going to get, 7 or 8 rushing touchdowns like he gave you his rookie season. You don't need as many passing.
Yeah, what's wrong with being compared to Cam?
He just bristled at it.
Yeah, he did. He actually came out and said, "I'm more like Aaron Rodgers."
Right.
But he's not.
Well, that's what he wants to be. And look, he came in the league. I can remember specifically reading a scout saying he threw the deep ball better than anybody he'd scouted. It hasn't borne out at this level yet, but he did have chops throwing the football in college. He did have some throwing credentials. He did win a Heisman Trophy throwing the football. He is right there, but he hasn't established that part of his game at the NFL level.
I think he can fling it with anyone. He could throw that ball downfield. The problem is the totality of sitting in the pocket with pressure and going through progressions. He's not advanced in that. At least we haven't seen it.
Yeah. He may never be. He may never be a guy that's going to go to his 4th or 5th option. If things break down, he might take off. But that's fine. I don't think Colin Kaepernick's making a ton of reads back there.
He's
and
still
it seems
learning.
to be working out for him.
He's still learning.
Yeah. So,
And again, RG in college, it was pretty easy just to throw those balls up when he's had the fastest receivers in the country playing against Iowa State.
And they're wide open.
That's a little different than doing it against NFL secondaries.
I think everybody would agree with that.
So, yeah, he did win the Heisman Trophy because of his arm for the most part, but he saw how difficult it was when he reached the NFL.
Look, I've been as critical of Robert as anybody, but there have been plays where he's made with his arm that have been fantastic. There just haven't been enough of them yet. So let's see. Let's put up a shut-up time for Robert. All this talk stuff is meaningless. I so can't wait till we start playing games and see what we have.
You love the anticipation.
No, I really
about it.
don't. I'm so over it.
No,
I'm
you
ready to
love
play.
it.
No,
You
I hate
love
it.
it.
I will say this, and we touched on it yesterday with McNally.
Valdez, he loves
I
it.
know he does.
No, I just hate it. It's just time. It's put up or shut up time. I am happy that Shanahan's had him for the last 3 games. I mean, it irritated me to no end, and I thought there was something personal there when it happened, and I said that at the time. But honestly, in hindsight,
He protected him.
he did protect him for
Yeah.
the long-term best interests of the team.
And that's
There's
what he
no
said.
doubt about
And
it.
that's what Shanny said.
Yep. I mean, Shanny did a lot
It was
of
one of the
deceitful
truer
things.
statements that came out of his mouth last year.
He was quite a backstabber, and he played favorites, and there was a lot of shenanigans going on. But at the end of the day, I'm glad he's sat him those last 3 games, and we have him healthy. He's had a full off season where he can work on his technique and his footwork and everything else. I don't have to hear any crap about, he had to rehab the knee, didn't get a chance to get the reps in. We've had a full off season of reps and everything. I expect to see a much better Robert Griffin III, and pretty early on too. And if we don't, this town's going to go crazy.
Well, those first 2 weeks are just critical.
If he comes out here and plays like he did last year, the first 4 weeks, it's going to be real interesting around here. It's going to be real interesting.
Well, you're going to hear the inevitable calls for Kirk.
Oh my
The
God, it's going
first
to be
call
so
already mentioned Kirk Cousins in the pocket.
It's going to be so annoying. He better be ready to come out here and ball from the beginning. Let's go to Spencer. I'm tired of all the talking. Spencer,
Hey guys,
what's
how you
up? Hey,
How you guys doing?
hey, doing
Hey,
great.
Hey, I think I was really excited to hear that clip from Jay. The diversity that is needed for RG3's success is just the absolute key. But I think if we can establish that running game with Forrest, and we can kind of tease the defensive, the defense with the read option, I think then we can really work in those slant routes that Garcon just seems to pick people apart with. And then hopefully with this new offense, we can start using those new weapons, start doing those deep threats. Maybe still, go deep with Garcon a bit, but, you have those other new options there we got. But, I think that's going to be the key for us is, just having confidence in what we already know works and then not being afraid to take some chances, which seemed to be the problem last year. I think one of our best games, at least offensively, even though we lost last year, but when we played those Broncos last year, we brought it.
Mm-hmm.
And, we made some awesome plays. Garcon was just on fire. The running game had him just guessing all over the place. But, that's my 2 cents. I was really excited to hear that from Jay, that, he's working on diversity. I think that is going to be the key for us.
Thank you,
Because-
Spencer. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
Well, from
Yeah.
what I remember in that Denver game, they played a great first half, but then they just got boat raced in the second half,
Mm-hmm.
and everything went to crap.
Happened to a lot of teams that played Denver.
The one
Yeah.
good thing is the news out of camp is that the chemistry, it appears, between Robert and Deshaun and Robert and Andre Roberts has been really strong so far.
I've heard nothing
That's just
about
such a new toy.
heard nothing about Santana Moss.
Oh, I
Is
heard
he
a
just
little
going to be
bit.
a victim of the numbers?
He could be, very well could be, but Jay has praised him. Jay has praised him.
I haven't seen too much on Santana Moss.
Well,
Yeah,
Henderson-
Henderson,
you know
what he can
exactly,
do.
you
not
know exactly what he
playing.
can do.
You know what he can do, though.
Hankerson's not playing, so Santana with the 3 guys ahead of him could be the 4. Who else is competing for those jobs?
Aldrich probably.
Well, and also Reed, the new or not Reed.
Ryan Grant.
Ryan Grant has been impressing a lot of people.
Yeah, kid out of Tulane.
Look, they might have to keep an extra guy if they're going to keep Santana. But you know exactly what you're getting with Santana Moss. I think you're going to get a pretty reliable guy to get you a first down, maybe give you a couple catches a game.
The
if you give
guy,
him
the
playing
guy
time.
can run routes, man. If there's one thing that Santana can do, he can run a route.
And if you need a first down, I wouldn't hesitate at all. Throw it to Santana.
Sometimes he has issues catching the ball. We've
Yes,
seen
he's
that.
had a lot of dropsies lately.
But he can run a route, and he's a leader,
He can spin that football after first down, too.
and he can teach the young guys some things.
Look, we have some. I'm getting butt size. What's the first game that we play in the preseason? Which I know the preseason's
Next
stupid.
weekend.
Yeah, New England.
It's New England. We scrimmage with them, and then we play them in the preseason.
Yeah. What is
Yeah.
that, August 8th?
August 7th.
And what are they
Oh,
going to do with Robert? They're going to play him like 2 series and then yank him
He'll get
right
about
away?
10 plays.
About 2 series, couple handoffs.
First quarter.
Are you going to be sized if he looks like butt and has 2 3-and-outs?
Why would he be sized
Why
for
would I
that?
be sized? I'm not sized for that.
I know, but I'm just saying you get to see him.
No,
Well, I
I
mean-
won't be. No, I want to see him. I want
How
to see him.
much stock do you actually put in the first preseason game? The first
Well, if
3
they look like
possessions?
if, he
butt-
if he does well,
If
then
he looks good, you kind of throw it aside. That's just what you do. If he looks good, you say that's preseason.
But if he looks
But
awful,
if he looks
you put more
awful,
stock into that?
a
Right.
little bit more stock into that.
Exactly.
Okay.
I don't know.
I agree with you. That's how we always assess it.
Yeah, because you can't give many credit for preseason, but you can take shots at them.
Yes.
All right. I'll follow your lead on that.
I mean, I think that's pretty standard. If you can't perform in preseason, what makes you think you can perform in the regular
if
season?
he looks like butt, you better lawyer up for your divorce with him.
Oh yeah, this could be a very rocky season. He's got all the weapons in the world. He's had a full off season. I expect him to
It's
play.
year 3.
I expect him to play dramatically better, and if he doesn't, he's gonna pay.
Phone number's 800-636-1067. We will talk to our Redskins insider, Brian McNally, coming up at 8:25 on the Junkies.
1067 The Fan. Traffic. Driven